Welcome back, everyone.
Welcome back.
So, Jeff, remember last week we talked about Santa Claus?
Yes.
All right. So this week we basically have
Easter Bunny.
No. So this week at school, my daughter's school, Thanksgiving's over, so they've switched gears into Christmas basically, and they have the elf on the shelf has showed up in the classroom. He reports back to Santa every day. To let Santa know if any of the kids are bad, to affect their presents they're going to get from Santa.
That's fucked up.
And
that is.
Well, see, in school they have like green, yellow, red. They have like these little clips, and like if they get in trouble, then their clips move to yellow, and then it moves to red. Or whatever, and then if that happens, like every day there's a little calendar that comes home with them, and it's colored in so the parents know if the kid was bad basically for that day, and lets them know why. But yeah, in addition, this month, Jack the elf on the shelf will be reporting back to Santa what their clips are on at the end of each day. So yeah, I wanted to just get your opinion on that, because this is one of the things we talked about when we talked about this last week was, what happens in school and stuff, and compared to what you tell your kids. So how do you think? What do you think about this? How you feel?
I mean, so there's multiple things wrong with what you just said, because not only are there people like me who don't think necessarily that Santa Claus is an appropriate thing to talk to your kids about, but not everybody in the world, like different religions and stuff, might just be by their normal, standings and normal nature, don't have the Santa Claus concept.
So I remember whenever I was in school, and it's a vague memory, but I do remember there was someone in my class that this was the case, and we weren't, and they, they might have just been Jewish, honestly, now that I'm thinking about it, because I feel like maybe they did like dreidel-based games while we did other things.
Dreidel-based games.
they spun the dreidel and sat in the corner. I don't know. So I'm not really. I can't quite recall what the deal was, but I do remember there being someone that was on the outs from everyone else that couldn't join in the reindeer games. Basically,
they were on the outs. but here's the problem with that though. No matter what situation you have somebody who sleep.
Yeah, I saw you running by.
You have somebody who's not. Santa Claus isn't their thing per se, and then you're dealing with a child who now you're just starting arguments with people because you have one kid going, "Who's the Santa Claus? Santa Claus isn't real," and all these other kids.
That's the thing. That's not. I asked the teacher about this. I was like, "Have you? So what's up? Like, have you?"
So what's up? What's up?
I basically told her, I was like, we had a conversation about this with a friend who hates fun, and
yes.
And so what do you?
I hate to see the joy on my child's face.
Yeah.
It makes me cringe on the inside.
And she said she hasn't had that ever happen yet.
She's fucking lying. She's blind.
She said there's been occasions where someone was like religious reasons or whatever, but there's never been the case where the kids just show up and just be like, my mommy says no.
How? I think I had people like when I was in elementary school. Obviously, Santa Claus and stuff was much more saying Merry Christmas was absolutely like fine in every place back then, and I'm not saying that that's the case. I don't think it necessarily should be. Like, I get really upset when if somebody says like Happy Holidays and they look back at them, they're like you mean Merry Christmas, when they say things like that, because you should be accepting of everybody's beliefs around this time frame, and saying Happy Holidays is the generic way to say Happy Holidays. Like, if you believe in Christmas, Merry Christmas. If you believe in Hanukkah, Happy Hanukkah, all that stuff. I think that's an acceptable, politically correct thing to say. You shouldn't get mad at somebody for that. And
I also don't think, just to the other side of that, I don't think anyone should be shat on for saying Merry Christmas either. I don't think anyone should ever correct them and be like, "Don't you just mean Happy Holidays? Don't look at me and tell me Christmas."
So I agree with you in that as well. And I will say, in my personal experience, I don't usually see it that way. It's usually somebody says Happy Holidays and somebody gets mad, snaps back the other way with "You mean Merry Christmas?" or like they'll look at them and be like "Merry Christmas," you know, type.
I have to admit, I've never actually been a part of this on either side. I've never had this happen where anyone does either thing, basically.
Yeah, I've definitely seen it the other way. But when I was in elementary school, us kids would argue about Santa Claus all the time, and you had some people who were like, "No, Santa Claus is real," happen. And then you have some of the other kids be like, "No, my parents said that Santa Claus isn't real. He's just made up." Blah blah blah. So
God, we never had that happen.
Yeah, we even had that argument as little kids, and that was, you know, from the little kids mentality though is probably still not any different. I guess I grew up fine having those arguments with my little classmates, you know, back in the day, and I'm sure the mentality of a third grader isn't different now than the mentality of a third grader was back then. Maybe it is. I don't know. I have no idea if we've evolved.
I mean, there's probably definite changes. I mean, just the internet alone has changed the way people are educated and how kids. I mean, everything's different, really, to be honest.
That is yes, I completely agree with that. I mean, which is kind of funny because what is our plan to do today, Guude?
We're gonna build a Christmas tree.
No, you mean a holiday tree? A holiday tree. We should also build like a dreidel or something. I don't know.
How do you build a dreidel? Do you just put a piece of wood on the ground?
No, it's like
it's a top, is what it is. I know what
a
dreidel is, but I mean, how do you build a dreidel in Minecraft?
How would you build any fancy?
It'd be massive. It'd be life size.
Yeah, if you really wanted to get the detail in it, it probably would. But then the problem that you run into is if you do a Christmas tree and a dreidel, then you're still leaving out other religions, and that's not good either.
We could just build like the what are those candles called that burn for more days than they were supposed to?
Menorahs.
Menorah. There you go.
Is that really the word?
I think so. That does sound right when you said it.
Well, I know that that's a word for like the Jewish, candelabra thingy.
That's what I was talking
the menorah.
about.
I didn't know that. I know wasn't there like an oil lamp or something?
Well, yeah, but that's why they have the 7 days of candles, because to represent the oil that lasted in whatever city it was.
Gotcha. So yeah, the menorah. See, I'm smart in all religions. And that's the funny thing is, I'm not religious at all. So Christmas is not even something I necessarily, Christmas is a Christian holiday. And I'm not Christian to say that I believe in Christmas. I celebrate Christmas. I think traditionally, most of America does celebrate Christmas, because I'm pretty sure still to this, maybe this isn't true anymore. Are the majority of Americans Christian?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Let's get some stats. Let's bring out the old statistics.
Bam! I just got the book, The Best Bow Ever. Best bow.
So, remember me telling you about my internet problems?
Maybe. What internet problems?
It was starting on the 10th of this month. My internet, I couldn't stream anymore. The internet would go down for 3 minutes exactly. It would go down to half a meg up for 3 minutes exactly, and then it would come back.
I don't believe it was us talking about this.
Huh, I just assumed I told you because it went on for so long, and I had texts coming out on the regular basis. I switched to business internet. They installed that last Friday, which that part you didn't know because we recorded and you'd left town and all that.
Tell me the same problem.
Yeah, it still continued after I switched to business internet.
Did they tell you business internet was going to fix it?
Well, business internet. So this is the weird thing too. Like, this is a kind of a long story. I'm trying to Google here. Hold on.
Let me find that article that I made up the story from real quick.
Yeah. I'm trying to Google statistics in America.
What are you getting for the Christmas tree, by the way?
So I chopped down one of the spruce trees, and I got all its leaves too. So I got a bunch of spruce leaves. And
is it enough?
No, I don't think it is. Where are we going to build it at, though?
On top of the silo.
We could build on top of this mountain here, actually.
Which mountain? The one next to, or the one by the apartment?
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll work.
Like where you could basically be like above the barn, kind of.
Yeah, that'll work. I can go get some shears.
So I've had 100 megs down, 5 up for many years here, cable internet, and I've called and asked them, you know, on a semi-regular basis, at least a few times a year, has anything changed? Do you offer anything better? You know, is there any up higher? And they always say no. So on Wednesday of this week, whenever the supervisor and two other guys were out here, they called one of their engineers, and they were talking to the engineer, and the engineer was like, so he's on that old legacy charter plan.
Old legacy charter plan.
Yeah, that's 100 down, 5 up. Why haven't we just switched him to our 100 down, 10 up? And I'm like, what'd you say? What you talking about? 100 down, 10 up? And he's like, yeah. Once we merged with Time Warner Cable and became Spectrum, we the base we offer now is 100 down, 10 up.
And how long ago was this?
Dude, that was like over a year ago. So I'm already pissed. But at this point, I'd already called about business internet. And so I was paying $124.99 for my 100 down, 5 up.
Jesus Christ! No, cable come with that?
No, that's just internet, nothing else. So when I call about business internet, the base business internet is $59.99, 100 down, 10 up.
That's the base business internet.
Yes. So you can already see how I'm like, what the fuck? And if you bundle a phone with it, they take off, like, depending on which plan you have. If you bundled a phone with it, it would be $39.99. Which again, to me, doesn't make any fucking sense. You're telling me you're gonna give me two, so I can get one service for $59.99, or I can get two services for $39.99.
Yeah, Comcast always did that crap around here too. When I had Comcast, it was I always had bundled cable with my cable internet because it made my internet actually cheaper to also get the cable, even though I have DirecTV, and just put the box in the corner and didn't even turn it on.
Yeah, I just think that's stupid. But, you know, I guess I don't know why they do that. I don't know why it works like that, but whatever. I'm not going to complain. I just think it's stupid. So anyways, I agreed to so the next one was 200 down, 15 up. And I don't remember what it cost. But I ended up getting that with telephone, and it was still cheaper than what I was having. It was like $119 a month.
God, it's still expensive for what I deal with out here.
Well, sure.
Which is kind of funny that, you know, in DC, I'm getting better, you know, internet prices and better speeds than you. I mean, hell, the Fios gigabit out here is only $79.99 a month for gig up, gig down.
Jeez, why don't you have that?
Because I have 150 up and down, and I would have to spend an extra, I think it's $15 more a month on my bill now. Because they didn't have it when I first got it, and I'm on a contract. And so they were actually offering it for cheaper, but it was only for new customers. Of course, you know, those great specials. Right. But so I could get it for relatively cheap, but I will tell you, my 150 down, 150 up, I have no issues with. The only issue I have is I still occasionally at peak times will throttle, but I don't think that'll change with when you have a gig down, because they still throttle at peak times.
Right. So yeah, no, I end up switching. But so anyways, the problem I was having, it persisted. And
did they change anything else except, did they give you a new box and be like, go on your way?
They actually forced, see, I've always had like a modem router combo that was my own, and they forced me to switch to their equipment modem, so then I just had my own router. So yeah, they did force me to switch, but they didn't run anything new from the box or anything like that. Everything like that just kind of stayed the same. So yeah, problem persisted, and like I've just been going insane because like I can't stream. Every time I try to stream, my frames just die because I'm only getting half a meg up. But it'll only be for 3 minutes, and then it'll be fine. It might be fine for an hour. It might be fine for 5 minutes. Like, you just don't know. So I started running a test stream after they because you can stream to Twitch without actually broadcasting live. It's just like a fake stream that's sending the data, but they're not sending it out to the world.
I didn't actually know that.
Yeah, if on your stream key, if at the end of your stream key, if you put question mark bandwidth test equals true, it'll stream, and then you can go to inspector.twitch.tv and you can watch your whole stream, like not like the actual. You can't watch the stream, but you can watch and see like how much is being sent and if any frames are dropping, all that type of stuff.
That's cool.
So I did that, and I at this point it was like 24 hours of doing it. I was just writing down every time it would go out, so that maybe they could use that data to pinpoint.
Did you sit in front of your computer for 24 hours?
No, because you can just go. There's a graph that it shows on inspector.twitch.tv, so you can just go back and look at the graph and see exactly when it goes out and all that type of stuff. So anyways, I leave my house to go to the mall.
I really would rather picture you just sitting there in front of your computer with like a pen and paper and be like, tick,
I did make a spreadsheet actually. But I left my house because my daughter wanted to go see Santa Claus at the mall.
That's because she doesn't know any better. She's got bad parents who teach you the wrong things.
So we went and saw him so she could tell him what she wanted him to bring and that sort of thing. And when I got back, I looked at it, and for the whole 6 hours I had been gone, it had not gone down at all. And like that's the longest period it ever had not gone down. While I'm sitting there looking at it, it starts tanking again, and I'm like, "What?
It's you."
That's what I mean. I was like, so as someone that did tech support and just logical thinking, it's like, all right, so what's changed here? I'm in the house. And my phone, and so I cut off my phone, and it fucking stopped. So I cut my phone back on, and it starts again. And I don't know what it was. Because you know what?
Well, it sounds like it was your phone, Guude. I don't know if you weren't paying attention to your story, but it sounds like definitely
my phone. But so I think you're an Android guy. So Apple, there used to be apps that you could monitor how much bandwidth was being used on your Wi-Fi data. And Apple removed the ability for apps to show that. So you can't actually monitor Wi-Fi usage per app.
So you think you were using your 10 megs up?
15, yeah.
Your 15 megs up with something on your phone.
Something on my phone was just killing.
What did you cut off on your phone exactly?
So I looked through everything, because
did you just cut off your Wi-Fi and it persisted, or did you?
I just cut the whole phone off.
See, I would be curious if you cut off your Wi-Fi and it persisted.
I tested that. I did test that later. Yeah, you can cut off the Wi-Fi and it stops because it's just sending something, some large amount of data over the internet was being sent, but I can't see, and the router I have doesn't break down per device usage either, so I wasn't even able to look at it like that. So I factory restored my phone and it stopped. I tried, I killed all the apps on my phone. Tried deleting certain apps I thought it might could be. iCloud is set to where it only backs up a certain time of night and when the phone's plugged in. So it wasn't iCloud doing a backup. I just could not figure it out. I don't know. Factory restored my phone. It fixed it.
I find that insane. I've never heard of a phone tanking the bandwidth that much.
Yeah. Yeah, me either.
Can you look at the stats that you said the router doesn't show you those stats?
No. And like I said, Apple removed the ability for you to be able to look at it that way on there's no I can't download an app that'll break down data usage per app on Wi-Fi, only on cellular. Is this a good spot, you think?
Yeah, I like the spot. The question is, how big does it get made?
Yeah, I don't know.
Do you want is that where it's going to start?
The leaves?
Yeah.
I was going to ask you, you think it's good? Or should it be higher? Should it be lower?
I was thinking it might be a little bit lower, but I mean, that might be okay. We can always make it bigger.
Yeah. I left it hollow in the center, so in case you want to put redstone in it.
For lights?
Yeah.
I'm gonna make this in my traditional, not symmetric way.
Yeah, I was like, as you were doing that, I was like, I guess I probably shouldn't mess with this so that you can keep it the same on all sides.
Nope, I'm just kind of going. Yeah, I don't know if this. Yeah, I would never have thought of the phone as what was causing that. That would not be the thing that crossed my mind in a million years if somebody said, hey, I'm having all these, bandwidth issues when I'm in front of my computer. I wouldn't have been like, oh, turn your phone Wi-Fi off. I'm sure your phone is just sending ridiculous amounts of data.
Yeah. I felt real bad because they had been out here many times. he called because he was supposed to come back out on Monday, and I couldn't tell him the truth. I just couldn't. For one thing, they originally would have charged me for all their time they wasted here, and so I was just like, "Yeah, man, on Saturday it just got better. I don't know, man."
Did you ever like look up anything on it to see if other users have experienced?
I did. I
similar?
Googled and tried to find anything that anyone was talking about, and a couple people talked about iCloud backing up. Someone said that their mom had their iCloud picture set to doing a thing, but I had that thing turned off because I guess iCloud will back up your pictures so that all your Mac devices or Apple devices can look at the same pictures as if they were taken on that device.
We got to make this thing pretty damn wide down here, don't we?
Yeah. You got to go much wider than that. Like I would say, yeah. How many blocks out have you gone?
I've added
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You're 6 out. Yeah, that's very good.
So 6 total from the trunk.
Yeah.
It's really hard to count these blocks.
3, yeah.
4, 5, 6. Yeah, I think it's 6.
So let me tell you a thing.
Oh, tell me a thing.
I will, and you're gonna need to do as I say. And this is not like a Stranger Things thing where you can just not do what I say.
Okay.
So
you
Chad,
must do what I say.
Yes. It's like Saul. You have one option. Do you want to live? So Chad had mentioned, and he may have mentioned it to you too, that he started watching Australian Survivor season.
Yes, he did.
So I downloaded it legally.
yes. That's how I planned on watching it.
There's no way to get it, so let's not talk about how I got it. So anyways, I've started watching it.
Is it as good as he says?
It reminds me so much of
original Survivor.
Old Survivor, yes.
Really? Like he was saying, he said how good it was. Like, and I've never seen him. I didn't know that he was a Survivor fan at all.
Yeah, he's more of a Big Brother fan though, and I hate that show.
Yeah, just to even go for him to have the passion that he had about like how I needed to watch it because it was that good. I was like, damn, like maybe this is good.
Yeah, it is. I've really enjoyed it so far.
So I'll be honest, I'm probably gonna watch this season of Survivor, the American version first, because it's got to be coming up on an end here in a couple of weeks, so I can actually watch it, and then I will probably watch that prior to watching Stranger Things.
Whatever. That's fine. I don't care. I don't care if you watch Stranger Things. I only cared because I was going to be at your house whenever season 2.
Yeah, I will. Yeah, now I'm like really intrigued to see what makes it so good.
It's so much. They do a lot of things that I kind of wish American Survivor would do. Man, okay, so I'm gonna spoil just a little bit of it. The first thing they do is after they get the, they do the normal start, where you're on your buoy and you have to get off and get into the island or whatever. Actually, I'm gonna spoil 2 things. The first thing they do is everyone has to the first team that gets to the island, there's 1 bag of rice. Whoever gets that bag of rice first gets it. The other tribe gets nothing, and they don't even get the stuff they brought in off the boat.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, they get nothing. So it's like, shit. Wow, no food for you at all, huh?
Is this a new show over there, or is it like
it says it's season 4, but I couldn't find the other seasons. It chat said something like the first 2 seasons were like a rinky-dink thing, and then season 3 was like the real deal. But they also do 59 days. It's not 33 days.
Yeah, I do remember that being stated, that it was more days.
Yeah. So that's pretty crazy too. But it's very similar to this Survivor. So then the other thing that they did is right away, the first tree mail they got said send 1 person from each tribe, and we're going to do a fire making challenge, which is something that apparently they do every time on this show. And whichever team wins the fire making challenge gets to come back with the flint and steel. So I thought that was kind of cool because I always enjoyed the fire making challenges at if it comes down to it at a tribal or whatever. But it seems like it doesn't come up that often.
Yeah.
And so to me, like it being a staple of the show, I thought was really cool.
No, I definitely do want to check that out because that definitely intrigues me a lot, and hopefully over the Christmas holiday I'll have some other stuff caught up in life and be able to catch
it's like 25 episodes total.
Jesus. Well, I guess it is 39 days. Are they hour long? Or 59
yes,
days?
They're hour long. They're hour long.
Man. And how's the host?
The host is Jeff. It's not really Jeff. It's Australian Jeff. The number of times he said, "You got to dig deep." It's like he sat and studied Jeff for like basically it's just the guy is trying to be Jeff. So that part's kind of funny, honestly, because he just wants to be Jeff, but he's got an Australian accent.
Do you think it's by the same?
It is totally the same. It is a licensed deal. It has the same intro, like I'm talking about the
yeah
yeah that yeah. It is the show.
No, I'm kind of excited now. I'm gonna have to find out where I can legally obtain this.
I have to tell you how I legally got it.
I'm gonna go get more.
Is this tree gonna look all right? Like,
I don't know.
How's it look now?
I mean, it looks okay. I'm wondering if it's too thick. I actually think it's gonna look fine.
Okay.
Yeah, I just need to get more. I'm like out of leaves already. I thought I had plenty, and that was a completely incorrect assumption. Whew! I'm taking some big falls. Well, by the time we actually get this tree built, it might be Christmas. There it is. How are we gonna light it? I mean, you said the redstone, but like, how are we gonna light it? Oh, I had another stack.
Yeah, I don't know.
And how did
we're gonna put wool and stuff on it, right?
How did you get the? Yeah, we can. How are you gonna get? Or how did you get that spruce tree to grow so flush or so lush out here?
What do you mean?
There's the one that I took down was like one of the ones that had leaves top to bottom.
Oh yeah, no, I think it's just a random
Is
thing.
It just random?
Right?
Yeah, because all the other two that have grown so far are just top trees.
Something's weird here.
Is one of them longer than the other? No, they definitely seem to be. I'm trying to think how I did the triangle to get. I did the the leaves diagonally to get out there, so it's all the same length.
Yeah, something on the way up got funky.
Probably the corners. Wasn't as high as I thought. I still can't believe your school is elf on the shelf Santa bullshit.
Yeah, when I found out about it yesterday, I was like, man, I can't wait to tell Jeff.
I literally thought that something like that would be unacceptable in today's society.
I think it's fine.
I mean unacceptable from the aspect of everything being so PC. With a lot of the stores that don't do the Christmas stuff anymore. It is all the happy holiday stuff.
Yeah, well, I think that's stupid.
You would. I think we should force Chick-fil-A to open up on Sundays. Be like, hey, you want to have a business? Then you open up on Sundays for all us non-religious people.
I stopped eating there for so long, all because of their stance on homosexuality.
I have not eaten there in a very long time, and I'll be honest, it's not because of that. I don't like that about them. But
we eat there regularly now. My daughter, it's one of the few places that like they have like grilled nuggets and stuff, and I don't know, it's not that bad. So I act there every Tuesday night before going to gymnastics. It's like on the way between swim class and gymnastics.
What does your daughter do while you're in your gymnastics class?
She watches.
She sits in that little observation booth and is like, "Go, daddy."
I don't think we need more leaves. I mean, depending on how this looks, I guess.
Oh, well, I'll finish chopping this tree then. I didn't realize that. I guess it gets smaller as you go up, so maybe it just seemed...
Yeah, I had enough. Yeah, depending on how this looks. That looks weird.
Wait.
That is not a Christmas tree. That is terrible. That is awful. Awful.
Well, I was wondering if we should do a layer in between each layer of blank. Because Christmas trees, I mean, it's not fully... You can make them look flush, but there's like bare spots and stuff in them too. And like you can see through them to the trunk. I think it's more of that realistic effect. When you put something together too quote-unquote perfectly, it's bad. Do you have a way up that mountain very easily? I can crash.
No, I just kind of parkour it.
Okay.
This is the ugliest tree.
Well, I mean, it's because...
What I think we ought to do is what you said is a good idea, but we also should do like it needs to be taller, basically. Like the fact that it goes from wide to thin so quickly.
Does it need to be a baller?
Yes. You know what I mean though? It needs to be like 2 layers of 6 out and then move in by 1. And then 2 layers of whatever, 5 out.
So what you're saying is we'll need more leaves.
We need more leaves. We definitely need more leaves.
Oh yeah, it does. It's a little short, stubby guy.
Yeah, it's a terrible tree. We're also out of time. So this tree, it was not going to make the cut. We'll come back and work on this tree some more.
All right, guys. We'll see you.
Bye.